Jet.
Hey guys, and if you are new, welcome to my channel for the first time, and if you are returning subscriber, welcome back again. So today we are going to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and again, I'm so sorry guys, I haven't been as active recently, but I will start working home for the most part soon, so it'll be a lot easier to kind of manage my time and stuff like that. I'm working quite far from home at the moment, but anyway, so I will do better. I'm just putting that out there, but yeah, let's get right into it. So there's two orders that came up on the Fairfax County, Virginia website. And they're just orders, so it's not like a lot of reading, but we can discuss it. Their first one was dated October 10th, 2020. And it says, order that plaintiff Johnny Depp shall produce, other than attorney-client privilege and work product, shall produce a privilege log for those objections on or before September 30th, 2020, all non-privileged documents in response to defendant's 4 set of requests for production of documents numbers 1, 2, and 14, which are portions of tax returns sufficient to show Mr. Depp's gross income from January 2012 through the present date, but not the supporting documents. So, honestly, a lot of times with orders, it was made... Okay, so it says here, arguments of counsel on Friday, September 18th, 2020. Oh, okay. I feel like this might have been after there was that time when they were heard, and I was like, where's the order? And so this is like from September 18th. So this is when that was heard, which would explain why it says on or before September 30th. So even though this is new to us, this is old news in a way to both counsels and everyone involved. So this is just being brought to our attention because a lot of times orders can take months to get filed. Let's see here. So I'm sure whatever needed to be exchanged must have been exchanged because it says on or before September 30th. So they would have already gotten this information. But still, I fail to see the relevance of it or why they need to go so far back as January of 2012. I don't get it. It doesn't prove or disprove a material fact. His income has nothing to do with whether or not Amber defamed him. It doesn't prove anything about it. So I don't know what the reasoning of the judge was, especially to go that far back. So I don't know, is she going to reveal her income documents as well? That's what I'm curious. I don't know. I guess she hasn't had many wins, so whatever. And the next one was an order dated October 15th, 2020. Let's see here. So it says the matter came to be heard upon defendant Amber Laura Heard's motion to compel deposition of John C. Depp, production of documents in response to defendant's 9th request for production of documents, and for sanctions pursuant to rules blah 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 of the Virginia Supreme Court, and upon consideration of the briefs, exhibits, and argument of counsel, it is hereby ordered that defendant's motion is granted in part and denied in part. And it is further ordered as follows. Plaintiff John C. Depp shall, pursuant to the rules, appear for 3 successive days in counsel for defendant's offices in Virginia at 11260 Roger Bacon Drive, Suite 201, Reston, Virginia 20190, or at such other place in Northern Virginia designated by counsel for defendant from November 10th to 12th, 2020, beginning at 10 a.m. each day, and the plaintiff shall, pursuant to the rules, pay to defendant the amount of $650.20. the costs incurred for the appearances of the court reporter and videographer, and the transcript for plaintiff's properly noticed deposition on October 5th, 2020. Counsel for defendant shall submit to the court a declaration of fees and costs associated with bringing this motion before the court and appearing at the deposition within 7 days. And plaintiff may submit any opposition to the reasonableness of the fees and costs within 7 days thereafter. And the plaintiff shall, pursuant to the rules, pay to counsel for defendant the amount set by the court within 7 days after receipt of the court's ruling on reasonableness. And defendant's motion to compel responses to numbers 1 to 5 of the 9th request for production of documents is denied. So what this means is that Johnny Depp will have to be deposed November 10th to 12th in Virginia. And he will have to pay the costs associated with that to Amber's side, which looks like $650.20. And counsel for defendant shall submit to the declaration of fees and costs. So, because Amber brought forward this motion to have to compel him to do the deposition and her production request or whatever, so because of that, because they grant she was successful, at least in part, then Donnie will have to pay those court fees to her side. So that's what they mean when they say a declaration of fees and costs. So they'll probably charge for the lawyer's time, any disbursements, meaning like things like photocopies, fax, like those kind of procedural kind of costs as well. Like copies, like putting together like any binders or things like that. He'll have to, I guess, pay for that. So I don't know. That just kind of really sucks. I can see that you obviously have to do the deposition within a certain time frame before the trial, but since the trial got moved, I'm not sure why it was demanded that it would be on this specific date. I don't know, but I guess this is one of the only wins that Amber's had so far. So unfortunately for Johnny, so when he's gonna be in the UK at the time, filming Fantastic Beasts 3. So I wonder, I'm not sure what the law is in the States, but if he has to isolate, then he'll have to leave 2 weeks before the deposition set to take place, so that he can quarantine himself for 2 weeks and be there. I'm not sure if that is the case. Everywhere is kind of different. But if that is the case, then he'd have to leave 2 weeks prior to that so that he can self-isolate and then go and do the deposition. But from what we hear, for sure, he will have to quarantine for 2 weeks upon his return to the UK. So this is going to make production push back for at least 2 weeks, I would say. At least 2, if not 4 weeks. Or maybe even possibly a little bit longer than that for any overlap. So definitely this is going to cost Warner Brothers a lot of money, because they're going to have to, because it's like a set schedule, right? Every single day, like you have things set up, and a lot of times it is kind of jumping around. It's not filmed in, consecutive order. It's more so based on different locations and when you can be at that location. There's sometimes that's like, okay, we only have this space for the day. So, if we have to film for 18, 20 hours straight, then that's what we're doing. So it's going to be really difficult for the production to work around that. And for that 2 week period, it's not even so much of like the 3 days. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the fact is that he does have to isolate upon his return. So they're going to have to move all those 2 weeks worth of, production. It's going to have to be pushed back. And then they're going to have to scramble to try to rebook all that time, like whatever locations they were supposed to be. It's going to be a lot. So it might even be pushed back even more than that, because who's to say that the location will even be available. Like, so it's all, it could potentially even push things a lot further back. And judging by the kind of correspondence from Warner Brothers, it sounded like, I don't think they are going to be too happy about this. They didn't say that they needed Amber specifically. They said the actor, like the person doing the role, they were very ambiguous about it. So I think that this is really going to piss Warner Brothers off, because Amber Heard, Aquaman 2 is also done by Warner Brothers. So they're also her employer as well. And let's be real, she was on thin ice to begin with, but now that they're not only costing them money for the negative press and having to push back all the stuff for the Aquaman 2, you know, she wasn't making it easy to be employed from them. And by doing this, and you're kind of shooting your, what's that saying, like cutting your nose off to spite your face, I think. Now they're going to be pissed off at you, and that's not a good thing, because you're already on thin ice. You already have almost 500,000 signatures, you know, calling for you to be fired. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of money, you know, that they could potentially lose out on. So it is definitely a gamble. So you're definitely not making it easy on Warner Brothers to continue to keep you employed. And by costing them all this money by having to push back their production with the Fantastic Beasts movie, I don't know. I just think that that's definitely going to push them closer towards, you know, wanting to fire her. Because if they were kind of on the fence about it, something like this could definitely push them over the edge to be like, you know what? Fuck this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it could potentially be that, because at the end of the day, that's your employer and you're costing them money and, you know, and negative press, and there's all these people going off. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I have a prediction that she may have just put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, in terms of her Aquaman 2 role. I could be wrong, but I just don't see them being okay with that. So it's like, that's what they say, like cutting your nose off to spite your face. Like, you got what you wanted. You got a little bit of a dig there with Johnny to make his life more difficult. And maybe she thought like, oh, that's going to make them look at Johnny negatively. But really, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to reflect badly on Amber and could cost her her job. Or maybe she doesn't have her job. Maybe she did get fired and they're just not saying that, and that's why she's sticking it to them. That could also be it as well. That could just be her way to say like, oh, you fired me, fuck you, or kind of thing, you know? Who knows? But if she wasn't fired before, she might very well be now, because they might just be like, you know, fuck this bitch, you know? Or maybe they already did fire her. Who knows? But I just think the consequences of this will not be good for Amber. I mean, if you're just being a petty person for no reason, it will come back to bite you in the butt. It's just always better to be, especially in the court system, be as reasonable as you can, as diplomatic as you can, and try to work things out and not be petty. The courts never like pettiness, but I don't know. Well, this is like a small win for her, but we'll see what happens. But she did get a lot of her motion to compel responses. Let me see if I can actually look up just to remind all of us what those requests are. Just give me one sec here. To be honest, I'm struggling to find. I just tried to look. I can't find the specific request for documents that they're referring to, so I'm not quite sure. But some of them were denied, which is good. But I'm shocked that she was even granted this, given that she was saying all these things like, oh, Warner Brothers and no, blah, blah, blah. She's saying that her filming would be in spring, but really it's probably going to be in summer, if she even will be needed. So she was busted lying, and I'm shocked that that had no impact on the court. So yeah, we'll see. I will keep you guys updated. On the bright side, always look on the bright side. At least in November, we might have a little bit more updates, because if not for that, there probably wouldn't be much happening on this case for quite some time, since Johnny would be busy filming. So yeah, we'll see what happens at the deposition. And yeah, unfortunately, this is a bit of a win for her, but what can you do? You know, she's gotta throw someone a bone here and there. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for today's video. I hope you're having a great day and you're staying safe. And I hope you are enjoying October. It's one of my favorite times. I love spooky season. Comment down below what you're going to be for Halloween. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.